Hi, today I'm going to talk about Australian doubles and why this is a really effective strategy to use. So the first thing is, what is Australian doubles? Well, it's where we have the server and we have the net player on the same side of the court when we start out a point. Now, most people are going to do this on the ad side, and there's a reason for that. I'll talk in a little bit why at times it might be more appropriate to do it on the do side. So let's take a look, and I'm going to show you first a very simple way of playing Australian doubles. So if our server serves the ball into the box here, we're going to have them simply slide over to the deuce side. They're going to cover that part of the court. And they've got to do this right away. No hesitation. As soon as the serve goes in, they're sliding over. And our net player up here is going to stay in this general area here, but anything that comes in their direction is fair game. And they're going to try, to take that volley and aim it at the net person on the other side. So there's several reasons why this is really effective. The first thing is that the net is higher over on the end here versus the middle. It's 3 feet in the middle of the court here, but as you go closer to the sideline, it gets higher and higher, and all the way on the end, it's 3.5 feet. So you're forcing the returner to have to hit the ball over a higher target. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the distance between the baseline here all the way to the other side here is going to be shorter than from that corner to this corner over here. So you're forcing them to have to hit a ball in a smaller window. There's just simply less real estate to work with when they're having to aim the ball over to the deuce side. And then the third reason is that you're also forcing the returner to have to change the direction of the ball. Now, it's not a huge angle here. I mean, it's coming in, but you are going to force them to have to redirect that ball up the line. And as we know, changing the direction of the ball is always really difficult. So those are 3 reasons that make it really effective. You're just making it much more difficult for the returners. Okay, and keep in mind, if the returner sends that ball back cross court, I mean, if it's anywhere close to the net person here, well then, as long as they can volley halfway decently, they're going to be able to pounce on that thing and put that ball into the court there. Now, a more advanced way of doing this, and I would only do this if we're feeling comfortable with our timing, where our instincts are a little bit, better. What we can do is have our net person sometimes cross over. So they would actually dart forward after that serve goes in, and they would look to take that ball that the returner is hitting up the line. Okay, and then our server would slide over and they would cover the ad side. And this takes some time and some experience to pull off, because if you're just a little bit slow, okay, it's going to be really hard to get that ball that the returner hit. So as you get better at Australian doubles, this is something that you can then try, but there's nothing wrong with just, having the server slide over right after the serve. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can also do this on the do side. So the reason why most people will do it on the ad side is that most people are right-handed, and most people also prefer their forehand. That's generally the stronger shot. And so if that's the case, when you slide over here, you're going to be setting yourself up for a forehand. Okay, server slides over, and more than likely, if that ball gets returned up the line, our server here is now going to get a forehand for the next shot, and they're going to be going forehand to a person's backhand in most cases. Well, the thing is, sometimes people don't prefer their forehand. Sometimes they actually have a stronger shot with their backhand. Well, if that's the case, we wouldn't do it from the ad side. We would actually try to execute this from the do side. Okay, so if it's being served from the do side here, and our server prefers their backhand over the forehand, we'll simply just reverse it. So after they serve that ball, they're going to now slide over, cover the ad side, and more than likely, they're going to be getting a backhand for that next shot. Okay, the other time that you might want to do this is if our server here is a left-handed player. and if they prefer their forehand shot. Okay, so it's the same sort of setup, it's just reversed. And so what this boils down to is, what type of shot are you trying to set yourself up with after the serve goes in? And the server may prefer their forehand, their backhand. If they're left-handed, you have to just kind of think about, well, what type of shot are you setting yourself up for? So that's kind of what Australian doubles looks like in a nutshell. I will end by saying that it's nice to use this for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's keeping the returners guessing. You know, if they get into a groove and they're just kind of teeing off on your return, what you can do is just switch up the look, and you're forcing them to have to think a little bit more and make some more decisions. And then the second reason is it's just more fun to play. I mean, if you're playing just the standard traditional formation and you're doing that every match year after year, in my opinion, it can get a little stale. And this is just, it adds some variety. It's just a different look. And so it's just something that you can really have fun with. So I highly suggest trying this out. And you don't have to be a really experienced player to do this. It's just a slightly different look. So next time you go out, try a little Australian doubles. More than likely, you're going to find that it's going to be a little fun. All right, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.